Seeing such a fat guy, most people would probably laugh, but they don't know the kind of power he possesses. Eric, the Butterbean. Esh was a living nightmare for anyone he was facing. He was aggressive.
McNeely, ready to go, and that's it. 80 steps in and stops the fight.
Relentless.
Rounds, and then ultimately, of course, he's fighting.
It didn't take long.
Oh, it didn't take long for Butterbean.
And ruthless.
Use this jab. He can do a lot. And
Butterbean had made the first round a living hell for his opponents because it was considered a miracle if someone was able to survive the first round with the bean. Not only was he a legendary boxer, but he also took down some prominent MMA fighters. Butterbean was forced to be reckoned with as he lunged at his opponents with such lightning pace, despite his big stature, and his punches hit like a cannonball. And today, you will see some of the most ruthless and aggressive displays of power by the Butterbean Esh when nobody was able to survive the first round.
532. I thought you were talking about that. That's it.
For his 24th fight, Eric the Butterbean Esh had to face another heavyweight monster, George Clark. Although both fighters looked equally matched, it was only a matter of time till Butterbean introduced his two friends to George, the vicious left and the killer right hook.
A refugee of the tough man contest, Gabriel, where guys get in, fight 5 or 6 times. Looks as though they've been turning down many meals lately. Oh, beautiful. Oh,
Within just a minute of the first round, a right to George's head shuts down his legs, forcing him to take a knee, but George quickly gets back up just to go down once again.
The headbutt has still hurt him. Clark trying to fight back. Butterbean digging to the body. Down goes Clark for the...
Just after 30 seconds, George went to the ground once again, and this time it was a right to the gut. However, the fighter still wasn't willing to give up just yet, so Butterbean decided to put him to eternal sleep.
All right, remember the 3 knockdown. Look at Butterbean. Look at the bean walk across the ring. Tonight. Good right hand by Butterbean. Clark trying to fight back. That's it. Clark is down and out of the ring. Fight is over.
With a quick 1-2 combination, Butterbean sends George out of the ring, and the match is stopped, taking Butterbean's career winnings to 23. Then came December 6th, 1996, when Butterbean had to face Sha Jagen. From anyone's perspective, Shaun looked more agile and better adapted to quick attacks, but Butterbean just pounced on him like a hungry wolf, bulldozing his way to send Shaun to the spirit realm.
Left hook by Bean. Good right hand by Butterbean. Have you had disparity in the look of two fighters' bodies, and Bean is open. Jagen trying to... Jagen, although he's had 8 fights, he just turned pro this year. This is his 9th professional.
With just 2 minutes into the first round, Shaun was already reconsidering his life decisions. His left eye was swollen, his legs were wobbly, and Butterbean was just unloading on him as a man possessed, and he quickly turned this 4-round fight into a 1-round snack.
To Sha Jagen now, out of Overland Park, Kansas, and he may want to take the first plane back to Kansas tonight. 6, 7, 8.
A quick left-right, and Shaun is forced to take the knee, meaning that the match will be over in just a few seconds.
Here comes Butterbean in. Good right hand, left hand, down goes Jagen, hits his head hard. Fight is over.
But what happened on March 4th, 2000 shocked everyone. Butterbean faced the American Terminator known as George Lindbergher. He was an equally matched opponent for Butterbean, but what was supposed to be a long brawl turned into one of Butterbean's quickest finishes.
Jab against Butterbean, you will land. People do that for a couple rounds, and then ultimately, of course, he's fighting.
Oh! It didn't take long.
Oh, it didn't take long for Butterbean. That's it. He's out.
On his feet, he's out.
I am.
That one punch is all it still wants to beat him off.
Because he told him he was going to take care of business. I don't know.
Just like that, within 19 seconds, Butterbean sent George to the floor, and he never returned. He was on spaghetti legs all the time, so the ref had to step in and stop the match. All it took was just one left hook to knock out the giant head, and Butterbean did it when nobody expected. But Peter McNeely thought that he would be able to take down the American Butter, and he got lucky as well, as didn't go down in 19 seconds. But once the bell rings, Butterbean decides who wins. On June 26, 1999, Butterbean faced the Hurricane Peter McNeely in a 4-round match, which was supposed to be a brutal war, as McNeely was not any normal fighter. He had faced Mike Tyson in his prime, and now he had set his eyes on Butterbean. But what happened afterwards was just pure chaos.
And I do mean size him up. Butterbean, McNeely, but down from 323 his last fight, 15.
Peter McNeely, the king of the 4-rounders, Butterbean.
I see the belt line. Stand back. Go back to your corner. Touch gloves, go to work, and don't tell me I do my job again.
Drugs and alcohol, he told us, with your medical background, is this too risky for him to be under these circumstances?
It certainly is. He had a long time. He was under drugs and heavy drugs. Let's go to this.
Butterbean goes right to it.
Butterbean thinks he's a big puncher. He weighs 300 pounds. I get 300 pounds, and we had some words about this fighter. He fights good 4-round fights.
And Butterbean wants to lure McNeely into that fight. McNeely's got to stay outside, face Butterbean. He's got a box jab and move. That's how handed Butterbean is only defeat.
The guy who beat Butterbean was X. That should tell you something. Between us, they have 89 wins, and neither of them have fought a live fight.
Skill and subtleties of a barroom brawl.
How often aren't they? But Schilberg wrote a book called The Harder They Fall, and that's what this is all about, building of target.
McNeely, who looks a lot thinner, 99 pounds lighter than Butterbean. There's an overhand right by him.
He could walk out of a bar, who's had a couple extra drinks, or ate a little too much, didn't diet or train all his life, and can actually come in here and perform at this level. There's a lot of electricity in the air tonight, folks, a lot.
Very much in stride, which makes...
With the clock ticking, Butterbean was throwing jabs, hooks, and whatever he could to just overwhelm Peter with his brute force, and with just a couple of seconds left, he did.
Powerful punches by Butterbean. And
Obviously somebody knew something, but a little bit of money went on McNeely.
oh, a right hand by Butterbean. It's all Butterbean. McNeely ready to go, and that's it. Jane 80 steps in and stops the fight just before the bell.
Seeing the damage done to Peter's face, the referee steps in and stops the match. Butterbean wins the match in 2 minutes and 59 seconds, taking his wins to 57. On April 8th, 2007, Butterbean had to face a monster not in a boxing match, but in an MMA match. The monster was Zuluinho, a 338-pound giant who had nothing but destruction on his mind. But Butterbean had already planned the ending of this match, but not in the way that the crowd was anticipating. With just a couple of minutes into the first round, Zulu was already gasping for air. Butterbean was putting all of his weight on Zulu's chest, and it was looking ugly for the self-proclaimed king of heavyweights. While the critics thought that Butterbean was only good at throwing jabs left and right, he won this match with a submission that nobody was expecting tonight, and it turned out to be another one-round banger for the American Bean. But what happened on March 19th, 1999 had everyone even more shocked when Butterbean set a new personal record by knocking out James Baker in less than 20 seconds, and also the quickest knockout of his entire career. But before the fight, James was jumping as he would be able to take down the American Tank. But all it took was one punch to jump to the spirit realm.
He has made 3 appearances already on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, more than any other guest. Leno knows good comedy when he sees it. But Butterbean looks for the wild, free slow. That's what he feels the fans like to see. He is all over his opponent, James Baker, and has him down in the...
Just like that, a quick left comes out of nowhere and stops the jumping once and for all. The referee starts the count, but James is way gone and Butterbean wins the match in just 18 seconds. But Butterbean's real competition was James Thompson, or that's what people speculated. James was a meaner, taller, and tougher opponent than Butterbean had ever faced. The two behemoths collided on February 10th, 2007, and it wasn't any normal boxing match. It was a steel cage match.
Let's touch gloves, get ready for war. Right back, guys.
Well, yeah, it will. I think that James eyes, but again, because Butterbean can knock you out with one punch.
And James isn't as natural a boxer as Broughton.
A nice height advantage, which is great for the jab. But that overhand right, very careful and keep that left hand up high.
That's a big, I think that...
There it is. There you go.
There it is.
Oh!
Oh, that's about it. I mean, that's about it. Butterbean head.
A sudden over-the-head right comes out of nowhere and shuts down James's body on sudden impact. The fighter falls down, but he has no idea what him and goes right back after Butterbean. But soon he realizes that the match is already over. On February 13th, 1999, Butterbean went head-to-head with Patrick Graham, a fighter with 77-inch reach, 4-year boxing experience, and a record of winning 8 fights by knockout. This was Butterbean's real test, but just like the rest of the fighters, they would soon face a similar fate.
Do you have any questions? No. This is 4 rounds. Touch gloves. Let's go to work.
We've had the top-end Butterbean here in the appearances here in the Thomas & Mack Center, as has De La Hoya at this point.
I can tell Graham he better just watch out and hit. If nothing else, he can hit. Butterbean
From the start, Peter kept his distance from the Killer Bean as he knew what kind of immense power he possessed, and even a single mistake could cost him the match.
He likes to just kind of cave you in, Greg.
He has power.
Lots of guys laugh about him. 1 point issued a public challenge, and Butterbean said, come on. And then Rodman vaporized.
Power.
One thing Butterbean has learned in his 40 fight tour of duty, it's the 3 rounds to go. And he knocks Graham backward with a right, and you've seen power. And he knocks Graham backward with a right, and you've seen power. Butterbean is so much quicker delivering punches. Graham is so much quicker delivering throwing something. And Graham is setting his feet and trying to think of throwing something. He said his footwork's getting better. And he landed a body shot. Graham's held up reasonably well. It's just hard to imagine how he's going to mount an offense if he can't.
For most of the round, Butterbean dominates Peter, but in the last couple of seconds, a huge left lands on Butterbean's chin and shakes his entire body. But Butterbean manages to survive and starts unloading on Graham.
You better do something, because Butterbean will get you.
So Patrick Graham responds in the last 30 seconds of the round, and Butterbean now tries to rally to finish the round. It's another thing.
Refusing to go down in the first round, Peter Graham thinks that he would be able to survive the fight, but he was way wrong. Butterbean was now pissed, and he went all out in the upcoming rounds.
Well, it's all about what's under the...
This Butterbean might have a shot against Lee Rose.
You said he intended to...
Of course, if he moves up to the 10-rounders, he might have to give up his big wrestling paydays. He land shot clean to the head of Graham. Graham's shown a pretty good ability to take these punches, but he's trying to back away from Butterbean now.
No knockdown, no knockdown.
After beating Peter with a couple of combinations, Butterbean grabbed him by the arm. Then he just threw him onto the canvas. Not a punch. He picked him up and tossed him like garbage. Peter hit the mat hard. He scrambled back up, and you could see it in his eyes. The realization hit him. He wasn't supposed to be here. Not against this guy. Not tonight. His body was still trying to fight, but his brain had already checked out.
Butterbean. Go forward here.
A lot of big guys.
Well, he's not just a wild swinger anymore. Butterbean gathers to have a chance to beat him.
Now Graham is this jab. He can do a lot. Butterbean actually steps back a little bit and then delivers.
Patrick Graham getting out-techniqued by red and indelible moniker.
In round 2, Butterbean throws a vicious, over-the-head right that shuts down Peter's nervous system, and the poor guy is sent to the canvas. Miraculously, he can withstand the devastating power of a punch that hits like a semi-truck. However, Butterbean knows that Peter's end is near.
Different standard for looking good for Butterbean. I don't care. I come to see excitement, and he gives me excitement. I love the knockdown. And he winks at George while you're talking to him, and then knocks.
Just like I said, Butterbean knew that Peter's eyes were dead cold. He was just moving around to survive, dancing on instinct with nothing behind it. So Butterbean loaded up the left hook. One clean shot. Peter went flying out of the ring as he got ejected from a car crash. The job was done.
You know,
there's the belt.
In 2009, Butterbean faced Bo Lam Moon in a mixed martial arts fight. And just like the rest of Butter's victims, Moon had to face the same fate as well.
그렇군요. 자, 네, 버겁죠, 이 버터빈 선수.
죽였으면 상대방하고 나가보냈죠.
예. 자, 마치 어린 아이.
여기에 공격을 차거든요.
자, 문보람 선수가 이제 거리가를 좀 잡을 찾아나가야 되겠습니다. 자, 로우킥 다가섭니다. 로우킥. 자, 잘 피해나가죠.
코너 가면 안 됩니다. 문보람.
자, 코너 가면 안 돼. 자, 문보람 치겠습니다. 버터빈 다운이군요. 끝났는데.
At first, Moon was throwing some low kicks, thinking that he would be able to take down the giant. But once Butterbean started running after him, Moon started running for his life in the entire ring, and Butterbean threw just one punch to put him to eternal sleep.
이제 올렸다는 것은 감정이 이제 빠져나가는 상황이거든요.
여기서 발이 따라잡혀버렸거든요. 딱 걸려버립니다.
But fighting Shaun O'Hare was probably the easiest opponent that Butterbean had ever faced. Shaun looked tough and obviously had the height and reach advantage, but Butterbean defeated him in just a couple of seconds.
MMA rules, 3 5-minute rounds and a kick.
O'Hare's a bit of a tight one.
O'Hare, a street fighter, used but Butterbean, the prohibitive step on the hooks.
Seeing an opportunity, Butterbean starts smashing Shaun's face with his right hooks, and the poor fighter goes down to never recover ever again. Let us know in the comments which of these was your favorite first round knockout of Butterbean, and if you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss our daily videos.